The plasma round screamed overhead as Lieutenant Mara Venn pressed herself flat against the crystalline outcropping. The ambush had come without warning, tearing through the diplomatic convoy like pepper round her. The remains of 3 vehicles burned, with that peculiar violet flame that marked Cavarrath weaponry. She had been assigned to this mission as a formality. Humans were still newcomers to the Galactic Coalition, their military prowess untested beyond their own savage homeworld. The apex predators the galaxy's elite warrior caste had made their disdain clear. They stood 8F tall. Their chitinous armor naturally evolved over millions of years. They needed Noon's protection, least of all from a soft-skinned mammal whose species had only just discovered faster than light travel. But the universe had a way of humbling the proud Mara heard it then, a sound that cut through the chaos of battle like a knife through silk. A whimper, high-pitched, terrified, unmistakably young. Her head snapped toward the overturned transport, and through the smoke she saw it, a small form no bigger than a human child, trapped beneath twisted metal. Cubro, the youngling of Ambassador Threxus, barely 3 cycles old, the apex soldiers were pinned down $200 away, their superior firepower useless against the elevated positions the Cavarrath had claimed. They were calling for the cub, they're translated. Voices carrying notes of anguish that transcended species, but none could reach him. The kill zone was absolute. Mara's tactical implant screamed warnings as she analyzed the situation. Crossing that open ground meant certain death. The Cavarrath had overlapping fields of fire, thermal sensors, motion trackers. Nothing could survive that gauntlet. She ran anyway, her boots hammered against the stone as plasma bolts vaporized the air around her. She didn't think about the probability matrices, the tactical assessments, the survival rates that hovered near 0. She thought about the sound of that. Whimper about fear in a voice too young to understand death. An energy round caught her left shoulder, spinning her halfway around. She kept running. Another grazed her thigh, burning through armor and flesh. She didn't stop. The universe narrowed to a single point. That small frightened life trapped and alone. She reached the wreckage and threw herself over Cubro, her body becoming his shield. The plasma fire intensified, the Cavarrath recognizing the vulnerability of their target. Round slammed into her back, each impact driving the breath from her lungs. Her armor held for the first 3 hits. The 4th cracked it. The 5th burned through, beneath her. Cubro trembled, his claws instinctively gripping her arms. "Soft one," he whispered in broken Coalition standard. "You are hurt." "Shh," Mara breathed, blood filling her mouth. "I've got you. I've got you." The pain was extraordinary. Every nerve ending screamed. Her vision tunneled, darkened at the edges, but she kept her body arced over the cub, kept herself between him and the sky that rained fire. When a plasma round struck her spine, she felt something fundamental break inside her. Her legs went numb, useless. Still, she held position. Time lost meaning. There was only the weight of her duty, the warmth of the small life beneath her, and the strange peace that came with absolute certainty of purpose. She had crossed an ocean of stars to die on this alien world. And somehow that felt right. The Cavarrath advance came on foot, their leader approaching with weapon raised. He looked down at Mara's broken form, the way she still curved protectively around the apex cub, and something flickered across his angular features. Confusion, perhaps recognition of something he had thought lost to his own species. He raised his rifle. The shot never came. The apex predators hit the Cavarrath position like a meteor strike, their fury transcendent. Ambassador Threxus himself led the charge, moving with a speed that defied his bulk. The battle that followed was brief and absolute. When silence finally fell, the Cavar forces had been obliterated. Threxus knelt beside Mara, his massive clawed hands gentle as he lifted her broken body. Beneath her cub roe was unharmed, his young eyes wide with understanding beyond his years. "Why?" Threxus asked, his voice rough with emotion no translator could fully convey. "Why would you do this? We have treated your kind with contempt. We called you weak. We said humans had no place among warriors." Mara tried to speak, failed. Blood bubbled on her lips. But her eyes were clear, and in them Threx saw the answer. She had done it because it was right, because a child was in danger, because some truth transcended species, transcended politics, transcended everything else the galaxy held important. She had done it because she was human, and humans protected the helpless. The medical teams arrived within minutes, their technology far beyond Earth's capabilities. They saved her life, though she would carry scars both visible and hidden. But something else had changed that day. Something more profound than flesh and bone. Months later, Mara stood in the Grand Assembly, still leaning heavily on a cane. Cubro held her hand, his small claws careful against her scarred skin. Before them, every apex predator in the chamber knelt. Ambassador Threxus spoke, his voice carrying to every corner of the vast hall. From this day forward, when apex soldiers speak the name Mara Venn, they do so on bended knee. She has shown us what we had forgotten, that true strength lies not in natural armor or evolved claws, but in the willingness to sacrifice everything for those who cannot protect themselves. Cubro looked up at Mara, his eyes bright. "My second mother," he said softly, using the apex term for one who saves a life. Mara squeezed his hand gently and smiled, knowing that humanity had finally found its place among the stars. Not through weapons or technology, but through the oldest truth her species had ever known. Some things are worth dying for, and humans never forget that.